It's time to take off your clothes, enjoy clothes-free living, and join us for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists.
Welcome to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, the show that celebrates clothes-free living for all. I'm your host, Frank Stone.
And I'm your correspondent, Lisa Monroe, and I'll be reporting on all things within the Naturist community. So it's time to get naked and join us.
And enjoy clothes-free living on Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. Well, greetings and welcome into Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 130 today. Really glad that you're with us for yet another Wednesday extravaganza. Just Lisa and just myself, rock and rolling, going back and forth, talking about naturism. And on today's show, we will spend a lot of time on the Gabby and Dan production. They have a big deal coming up, RK Underground, the last Saturday of this month, October 25th in Jersey City, New Jersey. And we talked about it last week. We played a clip from Gabby and Dan. Well, they have a lot of rules surrounding this event, which they have to have in any setting, in any time, any place. Wherever you go, there are rules. And when you have naked people walking around, probably you need more rules. And they're at a venue which has its own set of rules. So we're going to go through all of their rules today for this big event coming up, all of which we support and all of which, with which we are in agreement. They do a fantastic job. Don't forget to check out their podcast as well, The Naturist Vibe. But today's show is mostly focused on the rules of this coming event and why we support them and all the good things that they are doing for the world of naturism. About halfway, maybe 2/3 or so into talking about the Gabby Dan rules for the big event on October 25th, we will take a break to hear the latest song from Rick Dorsiak. That's right, Mr. Naturism, Mr. Nudism himself, on fire for clothes-free living. Rick Dorsiak has come out with yet another song, this one about being naked in Pasco County, and we will play that a little bit later on today's show. We always enjoy hearing from you. Lots of ways to get us: Twitter, Blue Sky, Patreon, email, Spotify page, our website, our YouTube page. You can reach us any of those places, and we enjoy hearing from you. We enjoy reading them and responding and interacting with you. Please feel free to reach out to us anytime with a comment, a question, a suggestion, and we enjoy hearing from you. So come on in. The pool is looking great. The hot tub is fired up. The grill is going full bore. Fruits and vegetables off to the right. Cold drinks off to the left. Hot drinks inside, including that espresso machine donated by a listener. We have, if you want to go outside the pool area on the left, a hammock. Need a break? Need a quick nap? We have a hammock waiting for you, strung between two trees. In the back of the pool, outside the screen area, we have a little putting green, 3 of them in fact, to help yourselves out there and relax a little bit. And we also have the infamous cigar bar in the back left corner of the pool area. Help yourself. And guess what? We have extra chairs and lotion and towels. So again, if you brought nothing, if you just showed up cold and said, Frank, Lisa, I have nothing with me other than the clothes on my back, can I come in and take my clothes off and enjoy clothes-free living for the next hour or so? Our answer would be absolutely, come on in. So that's why you are here. So let's get to it today, because I think, now I've been talking here, but let me listen for a moment. I think I hear some music underneath my voice. Can you hear it? Let's listen. Oh yes, I hear it plain as day. That can only mean one thing. It's time for the great, the terrific, the completely over-the-top, fully clothes-free and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. And here she is, the one-of-a-kind, the completely over-the-top, fully clothes-free and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing terrific. And it is Wednesday, right?
It is.
I get so confused anymore. I don't know if it's Saturday, Wednesday, what month it is, what episode we're on. It's amazing.
Yep. Episode 130. Now, we used to work 8 days a week. Now I think it's up to like 26 or 27 days per week. So it's easy to lose track of days, I suppose. But yes, it's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday extravaganza. It's episode 130. And last week we set a record. Wednesday shows were supposed to be most Wednesdays for about a half an hour. Well, it's been every Wednesday for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 55 minutes. And then last week, the second longest show we've done in history. The first one is the 100th episode, went almost 4 hours. This one went an hour and 7 minutes, longer than the Saturday shows, and it's supposed to be half the time of the Saturday shows. So I guess we'll just keep moving and grooving. People seem to enjoy it. We enjoy it. So why don't we just rock and roll, as they say, and get to it?
I guess it's all we can do because we do not know when to stop talking, apparently. So we just keep going.
That's okay.
As long as we have something interesting to say, that's probably not a bad thing, at least. So,
Yep, nobody seems to mind, and the numbers are really good.
yes.
We can track, as you know, if people fall off. We start off with 5 zillion listeners, and halfway through, if we have, two guys in the middle of Montana on a fishing trip, well, then we know we've done something wrong. But we tend to maintain the listeners throughout on these Wednesday shows. A few fall off, which tells us probably a half hour is probably what most people want. Maybe that's the commute or whatever. But it's not significant. Most people are staying with it for the entire show. Now, on last Wednesday's show, we talked about Gabby and Dan, RK Underground. They have a big shindig coming up in Jersey City on October 25th. And I just kind of went brain dead for a few moments when we got to listing their stars. They're having stars come in. The BSCARZ guy is B Scars.
Okay.
I'm back to my cool status. And the DJ person is Cyrena. And so we have the correct pronunciations now.
Thank
We're ready
you.
to go.
Good.
And they came out with this list. They call it the RK Underground Naturist Event Guidelines October Concert. And we thought we'd go through those. And here's why. Because in naturism, as you know, we've talked about this like ad nauseum. We almost never stop talking about it. True naturists just show up, the clothes come off, and they enjoy the rest of the day, the night, whatever. The imposters out there, hey, I can see some naked chicks, sign me up, baby. And they show up, and they are not naturists at all. They're not interested in clothes for your living for all the right reasons. They're interested in picking up, guys and gals and just having a free-for-all. So, hey, maybe I can get my hands on one or two when they're not looking, that kind of stuff. And so I think, now I haven't talked to them about this, they've experienced the same thing. So, okay, if you're going to come to our event, it's a naturist event. It's not a free-for-all. It's not a sexual thing. And if that's your intent, we basically rather not have you here. So we're going to put some rules in place, very similar to what a lot of naturist resorts have in place. And we know of some stories where people violated their own rules at their own club and got in trouble for it. So let alone somebody showing up to a Gabby and Dan event for the first time ever. They don't even know the person. So there's no trust built. They don't even know the person yet. And so I was pretty impressed by the rules. Before we get into them, any general comments from you?
No, I was pretty impressed as well because first off, I guess because this can be a very mixed crowd because this event is not is clothing optional, so people do not have to get naked if they choose not to.
Right.
So that always sets up a voyeurism situation. It always sets up situations that naturists do not want to participate in. So I think as naturists, they both understood this and they put some pretty tough rules in and some pretty explicitly written rules to, just there is no room for any interpretation in what they're requiring people to be.
That's very true. And I'm glad they put them in. And as a naturist would never need these rules because we know what they are. Just inherently, we're not going to go there and grab and try to set up dates and, hey, meet me at 8 o'clock, behind the oak tree off to the, no, we're just close for living for all the right reasons.
Yeah, and I think too, this is great because if for anyone who is not a naturist who's interested and who's coming in, then they actually see you don't do this here. So maybe that will give them the idea of what naturism really is. And then if they are wanting to participate, they know they know the ground rules before they walk in.
No, I agree. Now, before we get into those, we'll stop about halfway because we want to play a song by a gentleman whose name we have never spoken on the show before. and that is Rick Dorsiak. Have you ever heard of that guy by any chance?
No, I don't recognize that name at all. My goodness, not at all.
Yeah, apparently he lives in Florida and runs this naturism website, Kick Ass Nudists, and pumps out about 100 million pieces of content every single day. Flies all over the place to introduce people to naturism, teach them what it's all about. Host people at Lake Como, where he lives. That's a nudist resort. That's his home. It's not a place he goes on weekends. He physically is there. Well, I shouldn't say he's there because he's also elsewhere, teaching people about naturism. But that's his house. When you
Yeah,
say, if Rick says, okay, I'm going to go home now, he
yeah.
goes home to Lake Como. He doesn't have a house in a traditional neighborhood. He lives nude all of the time with nude people. And obviously, we're kidding. We've never mentioned his name before. I think he probably mentioned on this show more than anybody else so far. What do you think?
Almost as much as we are,
Yeah.
and which is a very good thing because he's an incredible ambassador for naturism. He is enthusiastic. He is just on fire, and it's just a wonderful thing. So
Yeah. All right, so we'll stop with the Gabby and Dan rules for the RK Underground Naturist event coming up. We'll stop about halfway. We'll play Rick's song, and then we'll get back to the Gabby and Dan rules. Why don't you go ahead, if you don't mind, and read that opening paragraph where it talks about the music event itself.
this is an ethical naturist music event. It is rooted in respect, body freedom, diversity, and inclusion. It is 100% non-sexual. Anyone who violates its guidelines will be removed without refund and may be banned from future events.
All right. It is 100% non sexual. I don't see how anybody could possibly misinterpret that.
No, they they shouldn't be able to, but I imagine if you can, bend the rules to their own liking if they choose. But
Yeah. Now, some people might say, well, this is really harsh. We're barely into it. And what a harsh rule. Just this, that, and the other thing. And my philosophy has always been, because as you know, I've been in leadership positions
mm-hmm,
forever, put everything out there. So if anybody does something they shouldn't do, they can't say, oh, shoot, I didn't know.
mm-hmm,
So if they don't put it's 100% non sexual and somebody does something sexual and it's not in the rules, they can say, oh, shoot, I didn't know. I thought it was okay to grab women, various body parts at one of your events. And what are they going to do? Well, it wasn't in the rules. So I'm sure they come up with a rule for the next time. But now they're putting the rule out front. So if you do something stupid along the sexual lines and you say, oh, I didn't know, well, yeah, you did. You knew because it
mm-hmm.
was in the rules and they're posted all over the place. And the only thing I would change, not that they asked me for advice, and it's okay how they did it. Anybody who violates these guidelines will be removed without refund. I like that. You're not
Yes,
getting your money back, baby. You
right.
broke the rules. That's it. But maybe banned from future events. I would say your behind is never coming through our doors again. Maybe a little more graphically than that, but at least it sends a message. You ain't coming back if you break these rules. Is that too harsh, or what do you think?
No, I don't think it's too harsh at all, but I think that may be banned is pretty flexible in that,
Yeah, yeah,
you will be banned. We just might not, we, we might not say it that way. We might say you're excused from ever coming back or whatever. But no, I think that gives them the leeway to do it immediately if they choose. And if it's a misunderstanding or something, it gives them the opportunity to let someone come back in.
yeah. That's
But
a very good point. It does
yeah,
give them that moment where you know the guy or the gal really does seem innocent, and they sworn up and down they're very sorry. Why don't we give them another shot? It gives them that opportunity. But if you're
yes,
obviously blatant about it, you're probably not coming back. So, all right, and they have different subheadings. The first one: zero sexual behavior non-negotiable. Now we were what two, no, three sentences in, plus this subheading, so that's four, and we've heard non-sexual twice.
yes.
So that should send the message: zero sexual behavior non-negotiable. This is not a swinger party, hookup event, or place for sexual activity of any kind.
Mm-mm.
No, I never use this word. I'll just say
Yeah,
no self pleasuring,
yes.
fondling, public sexual content, or overtly sexual gestures will be tolerated. None of that. I think they're pretty upfront about you ain't coming here to do that stuff, or we're going to get you out of here.
Exactly.
No lewd comments about bodies, sexual propositions, or behavior that could be perceived as sexually intimidating. So you can't say, wow, check out the whatever's on that blonde over there, or hey, baby, how about you and I, hook up? No,
Mm-hmm.
no, if you do that and you get caught, you're going to be gone. Even if someone you know gives consent, sexual activity is not permitted in any public or private area of the venue. Violators will be removed immediately. That seems about as clear as day. What do you think?
I think it's extremely clear. I think it's extremely graphic, and if anyone can, has doesn't have the comprehension level to understand what this is saying, needs to not come to this event because, if you can't understand that, then you might want to go back to kindergarten because you may need some help. And you know what? They have this is a business to them.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
to, it's just like a resort is a business. And we sometimes forget and think that these things are our own, special little places to go. But these people are, making a living off of what they're doing in these places. And, we, for the fact that they even have to say this just annoys the heck out of me. But they must, and they must put these rules in writing in order to make certain that people can, as you said, can never come back and go, well, I didn't know. Not
Yeah.
knowing is not an excuse or a defense.
No, not anymore because it's in writing. And they didn't say this, but I could add, if you don't know how to read, have somebody read them to you or explain them to you.
Exactly.
So there really is no excuse. Their second subheading is consent is absolute. Do you want to read those 4 bullet points under that?
Every interaction, physical touch, a hug, even a compliment about someone's body requires explicit verbal consent. No means no. Maybe means no. Silence means no. If someone withdraws consent at any time, you must stop immediately. Failure to respect consent will result in removal.
Yeah. Not only does this target the knuckleheads who might try something stupid, but to me, it really gives safety and security to the 99% who are going there. I'm going there to enjoy the music and the experience and naturism and the art and the music, and I don't want to be touched or grabbed or have comments made about me. So I'll go. I'll go. In fact, I'll even take my top off if I'm a woman, or I'll get
Mm-hmm.
nude or whatever. And then something like this happens, you have the security knowing their backside's going to get tossed out the front door, back door, side door, whichever is closest, and they're not coming back. So when sometimes people say, "Well, I can't believe they're targeting these people," no, they're putting it out there for everybody. So the really good people, the actual naturists, or those who just want to go and enjoy an
Mm-hmm.
evening, feel safe going. And as a woman, I'm guessing you agree with that probably more than even guys do, right?
Absolutely, because I think, there's I will say this as a paraphrase of another line. It does not depend on what your definition of no is. No means no. And, so many people go, oh, well, you don't really mean that, do you? Well, yeah, I do. So, no. But again, when you have to spell it out this explicitly, it is a sad commentary on who we are as a society. But it's there are events like this in Europe, and I never really heard that there were issues there. That because the Europeans are a little freer about how they approach things, but I just have never heard of any issues and problems like that in a situation where nudity is acceptable, and it's where it isn't acceptable that it's that little thing that's forbidden, so everybody wants to go for it.
Yeah, that's very true. We know of a story, no names or locations, but
Mm-mm.
the guy was groping women, I don't know if it's plural or singular, groping them under the water. You get in the pool, you grab something, either standing next to her and grab it or swimming by, and oops, sorry, ma'am. And apparently, at least one woman said, hey, hey, hey. And people can tell the difference, and women are more in tune with that, I think, than men in general. That's a generalized statement. You know when you've been grabbed inappropriately. You know when it's an accident for the most part, right?
Oh, very much so. I
Yeah.
mean, very much so, because there are a lot of other signs that come along with just the actual touch that,
Yeah.
kind of give people away and they think they're being so smooth, but they're not. So, yeah,
Yeah.
you can spot them a mile off usually.
Yeah. So far, so good. I really like these rules. Zero sexual behavior. Consent is absolute.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only maybe slippery slope there could be somebody saying, I misunderstood. I thought she said yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Gabby and Dan are of the mindset, well, you are wrong, and here's the door.
Mm-hmm.
Adios. Bye bye.
Exactly. They should err on the side of caution
Oh,
in an
yes.
event like this. Yeah, because they got a lot
Oh,
on the line here. I mean, they could be city permits, they could be all
sure.
vendors and all sorts of things that they have to protect themselves as much as the people who are coming to the event. And so I really like the fact that these rules are this explicit.
Yeah. Well, every interaction, physical touch, a hug, even a
Mm,
compliment about somebody's body requires explicit verbal consent. And I'm of the mindset, why would I do that anyway? Hey, I don't know your name, but boy, can I tell you you're hot? Is that okay? You know, we don't want those people around anyway. So it's just a
yeah.
matter of time before they identify who they are. They identify themselves. Hello, I'm a fool, and you can escort me out anytime. So I guess eventually they'll get them all out of there, and then the message is sent.
Yes.
Whoa, did you hear about that RK Underground thing? They threw three people up because they did this, that, and the other thing. Ooh, I guess they're serious about it. And then eventually they'll get to the point where people like that won't even show up because they know
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the third one, photography and recording restrictions. Only approved RK Underground staff and media may take photos or video. No personal cameras, camera phones, or recording devices allowed except in designated photo zones and only with permission from every person in the frame. No live streaming or posting of others without permission. Anyone caught secretly filming or photographing will be banned and, if necessary, reported to law enforcement. There we go. I
Mm,
like
yep.
that one.
I do
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I do too, because that's an invasion of privacy. That's a whole lot of things that go on. And the resorts usually are very good about this. They take pictures of groups, but I'm sure they get, everybody's permission to do so. But if you just walk in with your camera, they don't tell you can't have your camera, I mean your phone.
Right.
But by golly, I think a lot of them give stickers to put on the camera so you can't take pictures. And that sticker better be on there
Yeah.
if you have your phone out. So, again, it comes down to we can't sometimes trust people to do the right thing. So, these kind of rules have to come into play to protect everybody.
Yeah. And we fully support everything they've put out there.
Absolutely.
That's why we're going through this because this is what helps us as naturists enjoy our day and evening and week and whatever else is knowing that this nonsense is not allowed. If you don't mind, the fourth subheading, clothing and naturist courtesy. Can you read those?
I sure can. Nudity is welcome but not required. Attendees may wear clothing wraps or accessories. Always carry a towel, cloth to sit on, no bare skin on communal seating. Footwear is permitted for safety. Sandals, sneakers, or other comfortable shoes recommended. Costumes and body paint are welcome if they are non-sexual and not used to mimic genitalia or sexual acts.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And nudity is welcome but not required.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go fully dressed and never take a stitch off. You can be naked as a jaybird or anything in between. That's your choice. And obviously the towel thing makes sense. That's just
Mm-hmm.
rule
It's
1A
common
for the
practice.
naturist. Yeah, exactly. You can wear shoes. I probably would just because
Mm-hmm.
you don't know
Oh,
what
in
you're going
that
to step
event, yeah.
on. Yeah, you step on something and you could hurt your foot.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense. And that way everybody is welcome to come in. Like, if I go, I have to get naked.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't. You can stay clothed all night long and enjoy the show. But at the same time, if I'm a naturist, can I get my clothes off? Oh yeah, you can be as naked as you want to be. So that pretty much brings everybody in, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And let's just say you were someone who was interested in being a naturist,
Mhm.
and or you were a naturist, but you were afraid of these huge events like this. You would be afraid because of the nature. It's a concert. There's dancing. There's going to be probably a lot of lights splashing. It's going to be kind of almost a DJ kind of thing going on. And I don't know if anybody's ever been to Miami when those big things with all the DJs happen, but it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
people are, I'm sure there may be people who would be not exactly happy to go to this. This helps them understand that's not what this is. This is not, everybody parading around trying to get, the skimpiest costume to attract the most number of people. It's actually going to enjoy naturism in its purest form and enjoy the music and the event at the same time.
Yep. Yeah, very good. So those are the first four subheadings from Gabby and Dan, their RK Underground Naturist event guidelines, October concert coming up on October 25th, featuring, I can say it now, B Scars and Cyrena. I'm cooler today than I was last week, so I'm feeling
Well,
pretty
I
good about
tell you,
myself.
you
Yeah.
are you are just icy. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
I don't want to be too cool because then you'll want to put some clothes on. So I'll try to hold off on the coolness, but I want to introduce some if that's okay.
Yeah, I think it's probably wise. I don't do cool well.
Okay. All right. We should remind people we are the official podcast for the American Association for Nude Recreation. Are you a member? If so, great. But if not, you can become one right now. Just go to AANR.com, follow the navigation to membership, and within moments, just like Lisa Monroe is and just like I am, you will become a fully fledged member of the American Association for Nude Recreation. How about that, Lisa? That sounds pretty exciting.
That sounds really exciting.
Yeah, yeah. It's so easy to become a member. It's not
Yep.
like you have to go through a security check that lasts 5.5 years. It's just right now, I want to join. Here's my dough. It's really not that expensive. It's what, 60 something. I forgot the
Yeah.
price exactly. And then it's for a full year membership. So you really can't go wrong.
Yeah.
And so we encourage you to check that out today, AANR.com. Well, you're listening to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 130, one of our Wednesday extravaganzas. I believe this is number 11, Lisa. We said most Wednesdays. We've done every Wednesday since we started. So I guess the lid is off. We'll just keep going until somebody pulls the plug or steals our equipment, I suppose, right?
Exactly. Or someone yells, "Stop the Wednesdays! Give us one or two a month or something." But it's fun. So we're having a good time. People are listening. So apparently, and we've not had anybody say, "Oh my God, can you stop?" But so
Yeah.
I think we're doing okay. I hope.
I didn't tell you this only because I forgot. I'm not hiding information. But
Yeah.
there's somebody who writes to us a lot, and I won't identify him by name because I don't have
Okay.
permission to do that. And he said, I remember when Lisa was a little resistant about having 2 shows a week. He said, now she seems to really enjoy it. So if you do have a third, I think eventually she'll be okay with that, or words to that effect. He's, he's probably not too far off. And so that's why when I say if we do it 8 days a week, you'll probably complain but then you'll say, "Hey, this is great. We should have done this all along, Frank."
Oh my gosh. I need to know who that is. We need to have a chat. No, yeah, I was just my biggest concern was, we didn't want to be out there too much because, people get tired. But I think that we're not seeing that from anybody. That's not the message we're getting back. We're getting back, oh, I love the Wednesday show. It's so much more relaxed and just hearing you guys talk, but we love the other show too. So it's something for everybody, I guess, and it's fun for us. So we'll continue to do it.
Yeah, and we didn't come up with this idea for the Wednesday show, out of the wilderness.
No.
Like, let's go off to a mountain retreat and hey, it's come to me. Why don't we do a Wednesday show? This came from people saying we want more Lisa and Frank time. And on some of the Saturday shows, we were getting shortchanged. And that's probably not the right word to use, but less time than usual if we had an audio clip to play or a longer interview than usual. The show's an hour, and so we don't just do our thing. We have to fit our thing within the confines of that hour. And you and I were a little frustrated sometimes, like, oh, I wish we can go on another 5 or 10 minutes, but we can't. We got to go. And then the listeners picked up on that. Like, we want more of the two of you. And the numbers, again, we can track the entire show, minute 1 to the end. The numbers are strongest during our segments. So that's why the Wednesday show came up. Like, they want more of us. We will provide more of us. It works out beautifully, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Sometimes I wonder about them, but that's okay. Whatever they're enjoying, we're happy that they're enjoying it very much so.
All right. Sounds good. Well, let's go on now. Before we get back to Gabby and Dan, their event coming up, Rick Dorsiak, there's a name you've not heard for at least a few minutes on this show. Kick-ass nudist out of Florida, lives at Lake Como, is big in the whole naturism thing, and he's just on fire all of the time. You can visit his website. The link is in the show notes. And he's come out with some songs on naturism, and he came out with another one. We found it on YouTube. See, that's how humble he is. He didn't even write us and say, here's a new song. Can you put it on your show? He didn't even do that. He just posted it. And I just happened to come across it on YouTube. I thought, in fact, I texted you right away. And Lisa,
Mm-hmm.
Rick has a new song. We got to get this on the show.
Yeah, I
And
said, yay.
yeah,
Said, I want to hear it. So,
yeah. So we waited a week or so. This one is Get Naked in Pasco. Now, Pasco is the name of the county considered to be the naturism capital of the United States. We have more, I think, per capita, more
mm-hmm.
naturist resorts there than anywhere else in the country, any other county in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So Get Naked in Pasco, celebrating nudism in the nudist capital. So why don't we go ahead and read through the lyrics first,
Okay.
and then we will go ahead and actually play the song. So I'll start the very first verse. Down in Florida, where the palm trees sway, there's a hidden gem where the naked folks play. No shoes, no clothes, no problem here, just sunshine vibes and a lack of fear. A great place to make new friends. We're bearing it all again and again. This ain't no fantasy. This is real life where stress peels off and no tan lines. And if you'll go ahead and read the chorus.
Pasco is paradise. We're naked and bold, where nudism is timeless and breaks the mold. No clothes, no stress, just the Florida breeze, naked and proud, doing just as we please. It's more than a culture, it's a place to go, where the sun shines year round. Get naked in Pasco.
I think today
Yeah.
I'm going to, at some point, leave my house clothes free,
Mm-hmm.
walk to my mailbox, which is in the street,
Mm-hmm.
and if somebody calls the police on me, the police show up, and I'll say, officer, no clothes, no stress, just the Florida breeze,
Please.
naked and proud, doing just as we please.
Yes.
And he'll say, wait a minute, you've been listening to Rick Dorsey act again. And the officer and I will bond, and there'll be no
Yep.
ticket, and he'll just say,
Yep.
have a good day, sir, and forget your neighbors. They're a bunch of knuckleheads, and just enjoy being clothes-free. I'd be clothes-free, too, except the department requires I have a uniform and a gun and all that stuff and a badge.
Yep.
But when I get home, the clothes are coming off. We can at least fantasize that could happen, right?
We certainly can. You know, Rick's music may be leading the way because music is the
Yes.
communication, one of the best communications there is. So this song is really catchy and good, and so and I love the lyrics. So yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Well, while you're at the microphone there, why don't you take verse 2?
Sipping iced tea under skies so blue, having hearts to hearts with nothing to prove. Poolside laughs, volleyball games, everyone's welcome, nobody's shame. We've got clubs, resorts, and open skies where freedom's not just on the 4th of July. It's community, it's joy where nudism begins, and Pasco's where the nudists come to live.
Oh, yes. A lot of people from around the country, even from other parts of the world, decide when we're ready, when we can do it. We're moving to Pasco County so we can live clothes-free all the time, at a resort or whatever they're doing.
There was a show on Netflix couple of years ago, and I'm not certain I saw it but they highlighted a resort in Florida where people lived year round, and it was like a neighborhood. It was like a residential street. It didn't look like, look like what you'd walk out and see out of the front of your own home.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's just walking around naked. They were going to, get coffee naked. They were, just doing their thing. And it was just so pleasant to see that there was no stress at all from these people. You have life stress, but still there was a relaxing vibe about everything. It was really great. And it might have been that where Rick lives. I just can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I remember seeing that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get back to the chorus. Pasco is paradise, we're naked and bold, where nudism is timeless and breaks the mold. No shame, no cover, just the Florida breeze, naked and proud, doing just as we please. Thank you, officer.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than a culture, it's the place to go where the sun shines year-round. Get naked in Pasco. And now we're on the bridge, if you can take that.
They said it couldn't happen, said it wouldn't last. The nudists keep coming, making Pasco a blast. It's not just skin, it's soul and sun. No judgments, and naked is priority one.
All right, and then final chorus with harmony.
We should read it together. No.
That's right. You be a third above me and we'll be good.
Right, absolutely.
Pasco paradise, feeling so alive, dancing through the palm trees, naked high five. We're dreaming, we're gleaming, we're letting it be. Pasco's the place to be naked and free. Get naked in Pasco. Get naked in Pasco.
Here, here.
If I gave the officer a naked high five, do you think that would put me in good stead with him, or what do you think?
Let's just hope you get the right officer. That's all
That's
I'm going
true.
to say.
That's true. Yeah, could you send Officer 121, please? His badge number. Yeah, we'll take care of it that way.
It's funny because there's probably a lot of police officers, there's probably a lot of judges, there's probably a lot of attorneys. All those people in the legal profession are probably at these naked resorts all the time. Anyway, we know several attorneys, and I'm sure they're police officers, and I'm sure that they're paralegals and whatever. So it's and the funny thing is nobody really cares. Nobody knows. It's just like, hey, I don't know what you do for a living. I don't care. If you want to play volleyball, that's the end of that.
Yeah. No, we know several people in pretty much every profession.
Right.
Certainly in law enforcement, attorneys, you mentioned, well, judges, it's all in law.
Mm-hmm.
The medical profession, the education profession, truck drivers, people who work, 9 to 5 jobs in kitchens or even Walmart or Target, whatever. It's pretty much everything. I hate to use the term melting pot, but that's kind of what we get in naturism. No matter what you do, this will sound silly, but no matter what you do, you can take your clothes off. It takes no special talent or years of study or money. You don't have to have any status in society. Just you show up, clothes come off, you're one of us. It's just that simple, isn't it?
It certainly is. And there's for me, I have a kind of different look at naturists, and a lot of people, especially if you're trying to enlarge memberships at resorts or groups or whatever, people think, oh, we have to go after this group, and we have to go after that group, and no, you don't. You go after naturists. You don't care what group they come from, and you're hoping that they will come from, an area where you're, that you feel you need to improve on. But the fact is if we make naturism more acceptable, all of those people will come and feel comfortable to do it. And so I think the target should be who's the naturist out there, not where they came from, who they are.
Yeah, very well said. All right, let's go ahead and listen to it then. Again, it's from Rick Dorsiak. He's from Kick-Ass Nudists. His newest song, Get Naked in Pasco, celebrating nudism in the nudist capital.
Florida, where the palm trees sway, there's a hidden gem where the naked folks play. No shoes, no clothes, no problem here, just sunshine vibes and a lack of fear. A great place to make new friends, we're bearing it all again and again. This ain't no fantasy, this is real life where stress peels off and no tan lines. Pasco is paradise, we're naked and bold, where nudism is timeless and breaks the mold. No clothes, no stress, just the floor to breathe. Naked and proud, doing just as we please. It's more than a culture, it's the place to go, where the sun shines year round. Get naked in Pasco. Sipping iced tea under sky so blue, having heart-to-hearts with nothing to prove. Poolside laughs, volleyball games, everyone's welcome, nobody's shame. We got clubs, resorts, and open skies, where freedom's not just on the 4th of July. It's community, it's joy, where nudism begins, and Pasco's where the nudists come to live. Pasco is paradise, we're naked and bold, where the nudism is timeless and breaks the mold. No shame, no cover, just the floor to breeze. Naked and proud, doing just as we please. It's more than a culture, it's the place to go, where the sun shines year round. Get naked in Pasco. They said it couldn't happen, said it wouldn't last, but nudists keep coming, making Pasco a blast. It's not just skin, it's soul and sun, no judgments, and naked is priority one. Pasco paradise, feeling so alive, dancing through the palm trees, naked high five. We're dreaming, we're gleaming, we're letting it be. Pasco's the place to be, naked and free.
there we go. The Rick Dorsiak latest song, just released on the last day of September on YouTube. And the link is in the show notes as well. Get Naked in Pasco, celebrating nudism in the nudist capital. Is there anything this guy cannot do when it comes to naturism, nudism, clothes for a living?
I don't think so. I mean, I think he is the consummate naturist in that he enjoys it for himself. He found it to be something that made him feel better about himself. He then has imparted that enthusiasm and knowledge to other people. And not only does he impart the knowledge, but he pulls them in and shows them and gives them the fun time and experience that they want. So I don't know how you could top Rick in any way, shape, or form. I think he is the ambassador for naturism.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I would say clothes off and hats off to Rick. But he always has his clothes off, and he usually has a hat on. So yes, I don't want to make him take it off. He doesn't want to. But fine. That's right. Just an expression, Rick. Hats off to you, and we appreciate all of your work for the naturism community. And again, the link is in the show notes. You want to visit his website. You want to hear this song again and again and again, and maybe save it to your files. You can do that as well. You're listening to Naked Nudist and Naturist, episode 130 today. Glad you're with us. Enjoying clothes-free living for all of the right reasons. Lisa, you and I certainly are enjoying clothes-free living in the studio. Nothing wrong with that, right?
Yes, we are, and it's not as cold in here today, so I'm very, very, very happy.
But that's only because I'm limiting how cool I am.
This is true, because you are kind of icy, so, what can I say?
No, I didn't mean that. I meant cool because I can say bee scars and sirena now.
Yes,
one of the hip youngsters here.
I have a sneaking suspicion that you're going to go around all day saying those names because you can now say them, which is okay. Let's promote them.
I think, now she's not here right now, but when Jennifer comes back, I'm going to give her the nickname Bee Scars. You think she'd be okay with that?
I think she'd probably like that, to be honest.
Well, in case she doesn't, remove all potential flying objects from her desk before I call her that. I don't want anything flying in my direction after I call her that name, but she called me. What the heck was that name she called me? I forgot when. I know. We interviewed somebody, or I interviewed somebody, and she considers herself to be an outsider in naturism. Well, long story short, I don't want to get into the details, but Jennifer just thought that was the funniest thing ever. Here's a naturist guy interviewing a totally non-naturist woman. In fact, she says, I'm an outsider. I'm not a naturist. And for whatever reason, that cracked her up. So she's been calling me, hey, outsider, how you doing today? Good to see you, outsider. So I think Bee Scars fits her very well. And plus, she'll think I'm cool once I say that.
Yes, she will. I mean, because she's not exactly 27. So, she will think you're really cool that you know about these great artists.
Yeah, she's much older than we are. We're only 27. She's definitely older.
Oh.
Probably ought to leave that one alone right there.
I'm thinking I'm not helping you duck objects on that one, but.
Well, again, she's not here, so we could pretty much say whatever we want.
But she listens.
Yeah, well, she will, but by then I can deny it. I'll say, I was knocked in the head. Somebody else came in, used AI for my voice, and here we go. Think
so, yeah. Okay. Yeah, whatever.
All right. Well, let's get back to Gabby and Dan here, all about their RK Underground Naturist event guidelines for the October concert coming up on October 25th in Jersey City, New Jersey. They have a lot of rules out there, and we support all of them because we want naturism and naturist activities to be pleasant and pure and have none of the nonsense going on. So number 5, no smoking anywhere, anything. Well, that's pretty direct, I would say. You want to read those? Go ahead.
I love this line, anywhere, anything. It says, absolutely no smoking of any kind. Cigarettes, cigars, cannabis, vapes, e-cigarettes, hookahs, and other inhalation devices. This includes indoors, outdoor areas, bathrooms, backstage, and parking lots. If the event space prohibits it, it is prohibited for us. Violators will be escorted out.
Well, there you go. I mean, they just put it on the line. Absolutely no smoking of any kind. Hello, what part of that didn't you understand as you're lighting up a whatever, a cigarette or a vape or whatever? Okay, we
And
can move on with that. I'm
yeah,
glad they put that out there. And it also said it includes indoors and
yes,
outdoor areas.
yes, and parking lots. I mean, can't go out to walk to your car and light up anything. Get in your car and pull off the lot, and then
That's
you can
right.
do whatever you want.
That's
And I
right.
just envision these, like when she said you will be escorted out. I just envision these. Everybody's been to a club where there's been a bouncer or something. These really humongous people coming up and just picking you up and handing you out. So I like that vision. Somebody violate things.
You know what I wish they could do? I like that vision too. Two very large, strong people just firmly escort them out and not too gently. But I like the other one. You only see this in cartoons because it's not really physically possible with humans. They pick somebody up and they throw them through the air, and the person goes flying head first, like for 100 feet through the door. They land on the other side of the parking lot, and of course they get up
Exactly.
and they dust themselves off. Say, "Whoa! I guess they were serious about no smoking."
Exactly.
Now we don't encourage that. And Gabby
No,
and Dan, if you're listening, and I know you
no,
are,
no.
don't do that.
We
We don't
like
want.
the
Yeah,
the escorted out.
yeah. We'll just do it Lisa's way, and
Hmm.
not so gently escort people out and say, "Get your," I'll say it, "get your fanny out of here," and
Exactly.
don't ever come back. And they'll say, "But I dropped my cigarette. Too bad. You're out of here." And they'll go stomp the cigarette out, throw it away. Don't start a fire. We'll be good to go.
Yep.
All right. Along those same lines, number 6, alcohol and substance use. Well, we know where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Alcohol may only be consumed in designated areas and must follow the venue rules. They're using another venue, it's not their venue.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can have alcohol, but it can only be consumed in those areas. Public drunkenness, hello. Aggressive behavior, hello. Or impaired judgment will result in removal. Good. Here's the big one: no illegal drugs or paraphernalia are permitted. This is not an event for altered state sexual exploration. Good for them. So you can have alcohol in the designated areas, but you better not become drunk or aggressive or impaired and so on and so forth, or your backside's out of here. Any comment on that, or otherwise we'll move to number 7.
Well, I think it's good that they're keeping the alcohol in one specific area and, probably for a specific time limit, then the show starts and you leave that area, which will limit the ability of most people to become impaired. Because this is, again, that's not what naturism is about. How can you enjoy naturism if you're, drunk on your behind? And it's just you might as well be dressed because there's no fun in that. So I really do like it, and I think part of this is from the venue. But I think regardless of the venue, from what we know of Gabby and Dan, this would be what they would want for their naturist events anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. And moving on to the next one, this is number 7, general safety protocols, some of them anyway. We won't go through the whole list. No climbing on stage or equipment unless invited by performers or staff. Don't tamper with the lights, sound gear, or stage props. Report suspicious or unsafe behavior to staff immediately. Well, that's just general human being good behavior anytime you go to a concert or an event, right?
Very much so. And, there'll be some fools who think they can, join the road crew or whatever and do things better. But that usually comes when they've had too much of the other
Mm-hmm.
consumables. So it's, by keeping that down, then a lot of that behavior won't happen either.
Yeah, that's very well said. If you stay away from number 6, the alcohol and
Mm-hmm.
substance abuse, you won't be
Mm-hmm.
doing number 7, and life will go on pleasantly for you.
Mm-hmm.
How about number 8, respect for performers and artists? Why don't you read those 3?
Do not touch performers unless they invite interaction and give explicit consent. No rushing the stage or interrupting acts. Respect artistic expression. Nudity in performance is part of the art, not an invitation for sexual advances.
Gosh, it's so sad that they have to put that in there, but I know why they do.
Mm-hmm.
Naturists understand that, but those who just want to see naked people or show their stuff for a night, just because somebody's on stage whipping their clothes off doesn't mean, hey baby, I have my clothes off, I'm singing a song, and that means I want to have sex with all of you. Come on up. No, it does not mean that at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so good for them for putting that in. Number 9, personal boundaries. Do not stare, follow, or hover around someone in a way that makes them uncomfortable. Now, again, that's just general good human being behavior. You would do that, exhibit that behavior in a grocery store. Don't stare,
Yes.
don't follow them, don't hover around somebody
Mm-hmm.
because that makes them feel uncomfortable.
Mhm.
No unsolicited physical contact, even friendly gestures like shoulder rubs, require consent. Yeah, no kidding. Be mindful of your gaze. Naturism is about body freedom, not objectification. Any comments before we finish up?
I like that last line very much because too many people do objectify the other individuals, and hey, you don't have the right to do that with me or anyone else, and yet some people just don't seem to want to follow that rule.
All right, number 10, harassment and discrimination free zone. Go ahead.
No racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, body shaming, or ableist language or behavior. This is an inclusive space for all genders, sexual orientations, ethnicities, abilities, and body types. Discrimination in any form will not be tolerated.
Perfect. Really nothing to add. That's right
Mm-mm,
on the line.
mm-mm.
Everybody is welcomed. Everybody is respected. Make sure you respect them too. Or again, you go sailing to the. Oh no, we're not going to go sailing to the door. Be escorted out, not so gently. I forgot. I was thinking
Yes,
cartoon again.
yes, yes.
And then finishing up, number 11, environment and cleanliness. Again, good human being behavior. Leave no trace. Dispose of trash properly and recycle when possible. Keep personal belongings out of the walkways. Do not damage the venue property, instruments, or decorations. Well, good. We support Gabby and Dan here with their big event on the 25th. They have that podcast too, the Naturist Vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just out there doing things, in our view anyway, the right way. They're not out here to make money or to show their bodies off and post 5,000 self nudes. You call it self nudes or selfie nudes? Either one or what?
Okay, well, I guess it depends on who takes the photo. But make them either one, selfie nudes or self nudes. Too many of that comes around all the time from people, and
Yeah.
okay, once is enough, and
Yeah.
once
Well,
a week is enough.
I think the term selfie is what the cool people use. Therefore, I will use selfie.
Okay,
All
there.
right.
See, I'm apparently not cool, so I will,
Yeah.
I will acquiesce to your
All right.
definition there.
Well, I've been working on it this week. I got beef scars, I have Sirena, and now I have
Yes.
selfie. So,
Whew.
yeah, those who post selfies. Hey, look, I'm naked yet again. I know I was naked 3 minutes ago, but I'm naked again. They don't do that. They're just out
Mm-mm.
there promoting, again, as we like to say, it's our own term, clothes-free living for all of the right reasons. And so we're highly supportive. We highly respect them, and you can check them out. All links that you will need are in the show notes. And Lisa Monroe, with that, why don't we go ahead and wind up today? We're trying to keep this to about 30 minutes, but guess what? We are darn close to an hour yet again. We just
I know.
can't. We just have so much to say about the world of naturism in all seriousness, don't we?
We certainly do. And we'll just blame Rick for his song.
Well, why not?
It's
That's
all
right.
Rick's fault.
To which Rick would say, great.
Yep.
Blame me all the time. I love naturism. He just loves everything. And Lisa Monroe, with that, why don't we go ahead and wind things up? We were going to try to keep this to about a half an hour, but we are darn close to an hour again. Maybe that we should just give up the ship and give up hope. We're not going to keep it to 30 minutes anytime soon. So we'll just enjoy what we do, and our listeners enjoy it. So let's just go with it.
Yeah, I think we really do not know how to restrain ourselves in any way here at all when it comes to naturism. So, and this was important because there are rules out there, and people get upset about the rules when they go to resorts. But this is why, and they spell it out better here than an awful lot of the resorts do. So, people listen to this and understand, respect each other. That's what it all comes down to.
That's right. So again, thank you to Gabby and Dan. RK Underground Naturist Event Guidelines October concert coming up on October 25th. Thank you to Rick Dorsiak for yet another song on naturism, this one called Get Naked in Pasco County. And Lisa Monroe, with that, let's head for the hills. Go out there and stay clothes-free, and I'll see you on this Saturday.
Absolutely. Everybody have a great few days, and Saturday morning comes early, but we'll see you there.
Sounds good. The very terrific Lisa Monroe does it all around here. Our website, our merchandise, those memes you see on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, comes here for her segments on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and does a whole lot more around here. And we appreciate Lisa Monroe very much. Well, as always, we want to hear from you. We hear from many of you every single day, and we appreciate that. We do get back to you as soon as we can. When we first started, the rule was we must respond to every single listener within the hour. And then we started getting so many, it's okay by the end of the day before we go home. And then it was, okay, within 24 hours we have to respond. And now it's just as soon as possible. If that's an hour, great. If it's 2 or 3 days, we apologize, but that's as soon as we can get to it. But we do respond. You can write us on email, nakedforevermore@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on Patreon. You can reach us through our Spotify page, our YouTube page. Lots of ways to get a hold of us. Our website as well. And we encourage you to do so. We want to hear from you. We do these shows for you. And we want to make sure that we're giving you what you want. So please let us know. And don't forget to check out RK Underground, Gabby and Dan. Their big event, October 25th in Jersey City. B-Scars and Sirena. See, the cool factor has come alive here. But definitely check them out. They are on fire for naturism, doing it the right way. And check out their podcast, The Naturist Vibe. And also check out Rick Dorsiak, his website, Kick-Ass Nudists. That's in the show notes as well, as are the links for Gabby and Dan. And check out all of his work, his brand new song, and all of his songs, and all of the work that he does out there for the good of naturism. And don't forget to come back on this Saturday, just a few days from now, for episode 131. And our guest will be Andrea, part 2 of my interview with Andrea. Went through a whole lot of junk in her life. Got rid of the junk. Took a while, but she got rid of it. And now she's clothes-free a whole bunch, maybe all of the time inside of her home. Can't really get outside much because of where she lives, the confines of a neighborhood. But enjoying clothes-free living for all of the right reasons. And again, that's this Saturday, episode 131. Well, you've been listening to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 130 today. We give you a brand new show every Saturday morning, 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, and on most Wednesdays, 12 noon Eastern Time. Continue to join us. Check us out on our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com, Spotify, Google, Amazon/Audible, Apple Podcasts, and also on Twitter. You can write us anywhere, anytime, any place. And we thank you for being with us today. Plan to join us for every single one of our shows here and have your clothes off when you're listening. We have our clothes off when we're broadcasting, enjoying the naturist life.
We celebrate clothes-free living for all. Remember to enjoy being naked and join us again for Naked, Nudist, and Naturist.
We drop a brand new show every Saturday morning, so come back and join us. Have your clothes off when you do for Naked, Nudist, and Naturist. Have a great clothes-free day.